Greetings, self the interweb. I am Parax11, review of the good, the bad, and the underrated. Well, Season 6 has finally come to a close. Quite a while ago. Oops. Though it's had its ups and downs in terms of episode quality, I always appreciate it, not just for having some damn good episodes, but for being the season I first started to take an active role in the Brony community, however small it was. So to celebrate this kind of middle of the road season, compared to the other ones, I'm going to count down my bottom 5 and top 10 episodes from this season. And let's get the bad out of the way first, with my top 5 least favourite episodes. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's any better than yours, and if you like these episodes, great. I'd actually be interested to know why you like them in the comments below, and to have a friendly little debate. Also keep in mind that my opinions are going to be pretty brief, so if you want my further opinion and a little more humour, check out my reviews, as I reviewed every single episode of the season, from the crystalling to Where and back again. Although a couple of my opinions have changed a bit over time, and I'll probably comment on a couple of parts of how I thought the reviews came out, be they good or bad in my eyes. So with all that out of the way, let's get started with my top 5 least favourite episodes of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 6.
I guess as time goes by,
Number 5. Ppov. No, get out! I'm afraid I really don't have much to say here. While I definitely liked it, it's just one of the most average episodes. Didn't really do all that much great or bad, it's just all around okay, which is why it lands down here in the worst. While it certainly did more with the different perspectives than usual animated series, and the comedy from the three friends exaggerating the other's flaws was hilarious, I feel like the Bunyip came out of left field. There were no clues that it was a humongous monster before, although the theme that your point of view can leave out the bigger picture was a good one. I just don't think even Charlotte Bleeding Holmes could have worked it out. So yeah, not that much more I have to say on this episode, and I don't know if I came off that way, but this was the first episode I kinda struggled to review. I still think I did a decent job, but I found the jokes and analysis a bit more difficult to write than usual with this one.
I guess as time goes by.
Number 4. Applejack's Day Off. Although there is only 1/3 of this episode that I dislike overall, it's definitely one of the weaker stories this season. In the first 2/3 where Applejack is trying to relax but her wanting to help Ponies gets in the way, was honestly very telling of her noble personality and kinda sad at the same time. Sure, Rarity was a little annoying, and the pipes in the scene where AJ's finding the problem may as well have had filler written all over them, but a lot of the comedy and background acts were good, and there were still some fun interactions between everyone's favourite odd couple. However, come the last third, all that goes out of the window for one of AJ's most baffling portrayals. You don't need to do those stupid things that are solutions to problems that no longer exist. No f***ing shit! The moral that friends can offer a new and good perspective on your ways is a good one, but it seems backwards for such a usually savvy and self-aware pony to be so damn stupid. Granted, it actually has its good parts, putting it ahead of the other 3 to come in my eyes, but still, that third act just... oh dear. Also, fun note, you know how I said I had a cold when recording it? If I'd only waited 1 freaking day, I would have been able to do my voiceover as well as normal. Yeah, I'm not too proud of that review, even though it gave birth to one of my personal favourite running gags. He's over here, guys! Open fire!
I guess as time goes by.
Number 3. On Your Marks. It really did take the Crusaders a while to get a good episode, didn't it? While I don't think this episode is that bad, it wasn't that good either. The 3 plots this episode had were all pretty underdeveloped, and 1 or 2 should have been cut. Helping out Bold Biceps and the other ponies could have worked. Apple Bloom trying to find her identity outside the Crusaders could have worked. Apple Bloom helping Tender Tap could have worked, but together they just feel half-baked. It's like Polsky went to the David S. Goyeth, the school for screenwriting. Despite the good song, I do think Apple Bloom's subplot should have been cut, as it was the least entertaining. Sure, Tender Tap was pretty strong and Bog Biceps was funny, but neither they nor the Crusaders left a strong mark in this. Also, for a Dave Polsky episode, it's surprisingly unfunny. Heck, I don't even think many jokes were attempted. So, while not a bad next chapter for the Crusaders, it certainly left me longing for something more out there. number 2, The Cart Before the Ponies. I think it's pretty accurate to say this one was the most universally hated episode this season, and yeah, while I don't quite dislike this as much as number 1 on this list, it's still definitely a bad episode. While the Crusaders showed some good mature characterization and some of the humour and background gags were good, that all gets thrown out the window by how Applejack, Rarity and Rainbow Dash was so awfully characterised. Their arrogance and inability to listen to their sisters, coupled with being utterly self-centered, seem backwards, as at this point in the show, they should have really grown past that behaviour. I did like how the Crusaders tried to speak up, but the fact that the moral implied they didn't when the elders were at fault for not listening got me furious to the point I was screaming at my screen! But I stopped when my family ran into my room asking why the hell I was screaming so loudly. Awkward. Oh, and the song was pretty boring. Sorry that I forgot about it and just crammed it in here, but then again, it was forgettable and just crammed in the episode, so it matches up. Still, Valentine would make up for this with a later episode. Join me next time for that.
I guess as time goes
And my number 1 least favourite episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 6 is Newbie Dash. Yeah, anyone who's been watching my channel for a while probably saw this coming a mile away. I suppose it's good that my least favourite episode of the season came pretty early, but overall I'd say the first half of the season is a good contender for the weakest of any. I do kind of prefer to judge the seasons as halves thanks to season 3, which probably just keeps the not so illustrious title of weakest. It's not that it was bad, it's just that it didn't really do anything that really stood out and knocked my socks off. And this was by far the worst case of that. Rainbow Dash is actually becoming a wonderbolt. Her dream since the first freaking episode is upstaged within the first 5 minutes to see her get bullied, picked on, and made a fool of herself, until it's revealed name calling is okay if everyone else does it. I mean, there have been bad morals in the past, but this one is just backwards to me. I do realise this episode is close to home for many military bronies, and I can respect that and accept your opinion, unlike certain more hypocritical members in the fandom. But from someone with a non-military background and who received more than his fair share of bullying as a kid, I find them all just baffling. And the fact that kids might interpret them all as just saying not up and take the name calling from their perspective kind of scares me. And that's the main thing. Silverquill put it perfectly that the episode's problems and reactions are all down to points of view. From the Wonderbolt's point of view, it's fine, but from Rainbow's, it's demeaning. We only see Soaring call Clipper once out of context, and Dash should have just spoken up and asked why, or told them to just stop. A problem I did kind of notice, but was really brought up by the Ninja DC in some of his latest videos on Season 6, while side characters really got a chance to shine, the main 6 didn't this season. Although it must be hard to write major development for them since they've already grown loads over the course of the show, I do feel the writers should have done more, especially here, which should have felt like a satisfying payoff after 6 seasons of build-up, but instead only fueled my rage as opposed to Dash's development. Throw in some more awkward attention grabbing and forced slapstick that she really didn't deserve, and you get an episode that just all around pissed me off. Well, even I'm surprised at how cynical and negative that was. Anyway, the next pony video will be far more positive, I promise. Join me then as I count down my favourite episodes of Season 6. Something to make the brony fandom a little more positive. I am Ppov11. Thank you for watching.